What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday. Hopefully everyone is doing well and having a great day so far. It is time now for the Saturday weather update for Saturday, December 14th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. This is where I do the daily weather update on all things weather in the United States. So if you're new, subscribe down below, give this a thumbs up if you like the video, hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, and of course leave your comments down below. Alrighty, some interesting things have happened since our last update yesterday, and one of them is the first ever tornado warning for San Francisco, California. That's right, about 6:15 a.m. this morning, a tornado warning was issued for the city of San Francisco. This is the first time that has ever happened. As of right now, there was not a confirmed tornado, but there are some storm reports that show very impressive winds did occur in that area. And here you go. The National Weather Service issued a rare tornado warning for San Francisco, Dale City, effective until 6:20 a.m. this morning. This was the first time in recorded history such a warning had been issued for San Francisco. Authorities advised residents to take shelter immediately, although no actual tornado was confirmed at this time. We'll have to see if they do a storm survey or if there's actually any damage from that. And speaking of that storm, there are some concerns in California right now. You're noticing on the power outage map today, it is coming up as red, which means over 100,000, almost 200,000, 181,000 people without power at this time, customers. So that's not good. Also, some problems up in Washington. 88,791 people without power. So this storm is pretty significant. And checking on Iowa, because Iowa has been dealing with the ice. So far, just 6,663 people without power there. There was one report in Iowa of a place receiving over 3/4 of an inch of ice. That's a significant amount of ice that can cause problems. Taking a look at the national satellite picture, you see a lot of things going on here. First off, there's our storm system on the west coast. Take a look at the comma shape near San Francisco. That is very impressive. You also see this storm system that is in the midsection of the country, portions of the northern plains, and the Midwest. But then on the east coast, you see things are quiet in the northeast. But look down around Florida. The flow is actually going westward off the Atlantic Ocean, and there are some showers and even a few thunder showers ongoing along the Florida's Atlantic coast this morning. So yes, that is a thing that is ongoing. And you do note here, there is some detection of lightning in Arkansas this afternoon. I'm saying this morning. It's actually 12:55 in the afternoon. Take a look here at the flow on the west coast of California and even up in Washington as well. Very impressive flow at this time with that storm system. Taking a look at radar, and the first place we're going to zoom into is near San Francisco, where there is a very impressive circulation with this storm system. Heavy rains are going to continue throughout the day today. Then they should eventually taper to showers. Then we also have this up near Seattle, where you're seeing showers. Oregon, Portland, Oregon, you're about to get into a few heavier showers as well. Let's take a look at the National Weather Service hazards map, and we can see our storm system is continuing in the midsection of the country. There are still ice storm warnings up for portions of central Iowa, but when we go back to radar, you'll see here that precipitation is continuing, but it is going to slowly warm up, and places are starting to warm up. South of there, St. Louis, it's pretty much a steady, moderate rain for you. Memphis, Tennessee, you're about to see some heavier rain. And this system will continue its way eastward and then cause some problems for central Pennsylvania. Yes, this is new. We see winter weather advisories up for portions of central Pennsylvania, down the Appalachians, all the way down into North Carolina. But you do see West Virginia and South Central Pennsylvania in the mountainous area. There are winter storm watches for significant ice and the potential for some snow. Idaho, we do see, and western Wyoming, there are now winter storm warnings. That was to be expected. And on the west coast, well, we still have just a whole slew of different warnings, including wind advisories, high wind warnings, winter storm warnings, flood watches, flood warnings. Yes, there are some problems with that storm system, and that is going to continue. All right, Storm Prediction Center now. No new risk to talk about. That one this morning was a surprise risk. It cropped up at the last minute with this storm system because it's so strong. That can happen from time to time on the West Coast. What is very rare is, though, the tornado warnings on the West Coast. And San Francisco, as noted, that's the first one ever. So here's what the wind gust actually was at the airport in San Francisco. 83-mile-per-hour wind gust was reported. Yes, that is extremely impressive. We'll have to see if damage confirms any potential tornado. As of right now, no, but stay tuned. I'll let you know if I see anything. All right, taking a look at the Weather Prediction Center now. We'll take a look at the fronts for the next 7 days, from today through next Saturday morning. And we can see that mess will continue on the West Coast. Idaho, your heavy snow, it's coming. It's going to be picking up in intensity as we head into the night tonight. That wintry mix in the Great Lakes, which it is moving into the Great Lakes. Wisconsin, Michigan, you'll see some icing tonight. And then some snow across central Pennsylvania. And there are questions. Some modeling shows the higher elevations could see a good amount of snow. I'll show you the HRRR model in just a little bit. That will continue into the northeast. Another reinforcing system will come through, but that is going to be a warmer system. Any winter precipitation with that will be far to the north, and that front should move through as soon as Tuesday. It should all clear out of here. Then in the northern plains, we do have another system, and that's going to move east as we head towards Wednesday. And yes, create another system. There will be some snow on the extreme north side, extreme northern Michigan and Wisconsin. For the most part, it's a rain event in the east, and that system will kind of just quickly move to the northeast. And then when we head into next weekend, there are a lot of questions and uncertainty that remains. But that system on Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday, it has trended a bit more east and weaker. It's not going to be that long, drawn-out system the modeling was showing a few days ago. Then we have to watch this system that's coming down through the Great Lakes. Will it track more north? Will it track more south? Modeling is kind of back and forth, and some of those more southern tracks, well, that could transfer to a coastal system, which I'm not really sold on just yet. I'll show you the GFS in a little bit, and take a look at the West Coast. Yeah, the West Coast is in for another system on Monday, and as we head later into the week, you see, next weekend, yet another system. You're going to get some breaks in between, but they're not going to be long-lived. Take a look at precipitation now. You can see the midsection of the country, eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, on up into the Ohio Valley, and southern portions of the Midwest and Northeast. There'll be a good amount of precipitation. Good news for any drought concerns that do continue. In the Pacific Northwest, generally 2 to 4 inches of precipitation, locally higher amounts, especially in places that will see that next system on Monday, and then again next weekend. Let's take a look at the HRRR model now. We're going to use the 12Z run. As the day goes on, things will continue to get warmer in Iowa. You will see some snow break out across portions of Wisconsin. Some of that may mix with ice. Same deal with Michigan. Will mix with ice, but eventually even that will warm up. Idaho, portions of Montana and Wyoming, snow will continue, but it should eventually taper as you head into second half of tomorrow before more snow comes on Sunday night into Monday. Now take a look across central Pennsylvania. I have to show this to you. This is really interesting here. The HRRR model is showing a swath of moderate snow. Look at this. Light to moderate snow breaks out. Some of it towards the end does get a little bit heavier. It would not surprise me if the higher elevations do receive 3 to 6 inches of snow. And the HRRR model is saying even higher than that, but we'll have to see if that would actually happen. Generally along the I-95 corridor, this is a rain event, but north and west of Interstate 81, this is looking like to be a snow event with maybe some icing along Interstate 81 itself. And at the end of the HRRR, look at the West Coast. Another storm system for you. Now taking a look at the RGEM model, and you can see the icing will wrap up in the Great Lakes this afternoon. Here comes that snow into central Pennsylvania. Here comes the next storm system out onto the West Coast, and places like the mountains of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana. You will see heavy snow with that system. And we can see here on Monday into Tuesday, a front will move through in the east, and eventually you will clear out for at least the first part of Wednesday. Now moving over to the GFS. And on the GFS, pretty much everything remains the same. Tuesday, that front clears through. We get a quiet day in the northeast. Washington, Tuesday into Wednesday, it's still going to be rather unsettled for you. And here comes that next system. You can see it is quicker to move through in the east, and not a lot of snow with it. There may be some snow Wednesday night, portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. We're not looking at a lot of snow. And if we go back through the trends, you can see overall this system has trended faster, which is some good news. Once that moves through, another shot of cold air will move into the northeast. Then all eyes will become on this system in the northern plains. Where it tracks remains to be seen, and I want to go back several mile runs of the GFS. You can see here, each run, it has ended up in a different position. Now it's trending back south again. That's something we have to watch. If it's more south, because of this high being to the north, the energy from that system could transfer to a coastal system. And you can see the GFS tries to do that, but it pulls east relatively fast. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. If that does not pull east and ends up more west, what would happen? Well, we would be talking about a coastal system in the east, which could bring at least some snow. A lot of time to keep an eye on that. You're going to see a lot of channels. You're going to see a lot of posts on social media saying, ooh, this could end up west and be a mega snowstorm. No, 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 no. Everything would have to go right for that to happen. Right now, we're not seeing the GFS show that. And I can show you the Canadian as the Canadian, while closer and does show some light snow for New York City on up into Boston. Now, actually it mixes in Boston, is not showing that as well. Everything would have to line up just perfectly. And once again, we have a lot of time to watch this. And there's a lot of pieces of energy. Take a look at the 500 millibar level here. You can see energy dives down from the northern plains. It tries to close off at the 500 millibar level, but never does so. And at the same time, you also have a trough crashing into the Pacific Northwest. That's not favorable as well. So this is not a textbook setup, but if everything did work out perfectly, there could be something that to work with here in terms of maybe a little bit of snow or mixed precipitation next weekend. Alrighty, let's take a look at what goes on in the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. We can see here, below average in the east. Yeah, there's going to be that little warm up on Monday through Wednesday, but I'm telling you, once that system moves through on Wednesday, it is going to be a reinforcing shot of cold air in the east. Above average temperatures on the west coast. Precipitation slightly above average on the coastal areas of the east, because questions do remain what will happen with that system next weekend. I'm leaning towards it's not going to be a big deal, but stay tuned. You know, we've been watching these models waffle around at the different levels of the atmosphere, so changes could mean something. Well below average precipitation across the Four Corners region. That's not a good thing. You actually do need precipitation. Slightly above average in the Pacific Northwest. You do have that next system that is going to move in next weekend. Matter of fact, I did not show that to you, did I? Let's take a look at that real quickly. That next system will move in next weekend, and it's going to be another fairly impressive system. You can see, here it comes here as we head into Friday, into Saturday. You can see Washington, California, Oregon, more rain, more mountain snows, and it's pretty much just a parade of systems. That whole river of systems is going to waffle back from south to north, north to south. And you can see, for the long term, it is going to be very active up there. And look at this. Now, we're coming into the 300 hour, but you get the idea. It is going to be very stormy out there. So, yeah, above average precipitation, I do agree with that. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. Above average temperatures in the west, below average in the east. Taking a look at 8 to 14 day precipitation, yeah, above average in the northwest. And if anything, this should trend even wetter. Drier than average precipitation across much of the country, with exceptions to southern Texas and Alaska. Alrighty, folks, that does it for the Saturday edition of the Weather Update. We'll have another update either tomorrow or Monday. If you enjoyed this update, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you're new. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know. And leave your comments down below. I will see you all again next time. Until I do, stay safe, have a fantastic Saturday, and thanks for watching.